Hello, I'm Wednesday Alexandra and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's reading, I will be using the traditional tarot as well as the animal spirit deck and some astrology cards as well. If you'd like to know which tarot and oracle cards I'm using today, I've linked that information in the description box below as well as the pinned comment. Now, let's get into your reading. The first card that came up is the hyena. So this gives the overall sense of what the reading is going to be about. It also describes your personality. So this reading is meant for those who have like a practical joker type of a personality, a trickster, somebody who might have a sense of humor or a really good sense of humor, maybe even a dark sense of humor. You appreciate sexual innuendos or just maybe things that are taboo, like taboo jokes, dark sense of humor. I see this with the 8th house. So there's a lot of Scorpio energy that's going on here as well, because the 8th house is associated with the 8th sign of the zodiac, which is Scorpio. So another thing that I was picking up really strongly and who I feel this reading might be specifically for is if you are somebody, or this might be for those who are in their 20s or maybe even in your early 30s, or for those who are in their early 30s. The reason I say this is because Pluto in traditional Western astrology is associated with the sign of Scorpio, so which would also be associated with the 8th house. If you were born with Pluto in Scorpio, then this reading would be specifically for you. Pluto in Scorpio was from approximately 1993 to 2005. So it's for those, like I said, for those in their 20s or even in your early 30s. Now, I am a Vedic astrologer and I use the sidereal zodiac, so I do not use the traditional tropical zodiac. Okay, so Pluto in Scorpio, the actual placement of Pluto in Scorpio was from 1993 till 2005, till the end of 2005. Another thing that I'm picking up in this reading, the message that is coming through quite clearly, is suggesting that you take a step back and reflect on your life so far. All jokes aside, it's time for you maybe to start reflecting, find some solitude, and reflect on your path. Where are you going in life? I have a feeling like you want so much more out of life. You're really now thinking about your career. You're really thinking about your career, the direction where you want to go. I see this with the Sun card. The Sun represents our career. It represents our dharma. It's also very happy and joyful as well. So I feel like there's a part of your personality that's happy, that's joyful. You appreciate good jokes. You might even be a joke teller, a practical joker. Like I said, I see this with the hyena card because the energy of the hyena is a jokester, a practical joker, a trickster, somebody who just uses humor and sarcasm. So you could be very sarcastic as well, or you just use humor and sarcasm in your daily life. Maybe that's how you get through life, is you find the humor in a lot of things. And again, you might even have like a dark sense of humor. Like I see that with the 8th house. The 8th house is about things that are taboo. It's things that are a little dark. So the 8th house, it says this is the house of life's enigmas, transformation, the hidden, sexuality, and death. Here's where we can see someone else's property and money, real estate, inheritance, investments. We can also see our deepest unrevealed wishes as well as fears, occultism, and esotericism. So this is also a time for transformation. The Hermit is about reflection. It's also about solitude, going within yourself, reflecting on your life. You have the waning crescent, surrender, restore, reflection, intuition, and stillness. So you're being called to go within and use your intuition. This has to do with your career and your life path. If you're wondering what this reading is about, this is the strong message that is coming through. It's about you getting serious now about your career and what you want out of life. You have the Three of Wands, so you're starting to see your path more clearly. There's a lot of great things coming for you on the horizon. You see this? Also, another message that is coming through, and this is so random, is because I see the Three of Wands and the Sun. For some of you, it's time to take a vacation. Go someplace warm, go to the beach, because the Three of Wands with the Sun represents travel, and travel to a sunny tropical place, or travel somewhere where there's water, an ocean, a lake, something like that. So I don't know why I just had like that random message that came through. So if this is not for the specific person I was given the reading for, this is for some of you who are thinking about going on a holiday or a vacation. This is an excellent time to do that. And I see that you're thinking about it. You're wanting to go someplace warm, maybe go to the beach. So this is your sign. This is a good time to go and do that. Now back to the reading where we're talking about your career, your path. Yes, things are going to have, you're going to be faced with some adversity. Sometimes I can't think of the words. You're going to be faced with some adversity. You're going to be faced with some challenges and obstacles as well, but you can handle anything that comes at you. I also feel like in life you've had to maybe defend yourself. You've had to defend your position. You've had to defend who you are to people. For some reason, I'm picking that up from this card because it's like you're defending yourself here. Having to explain yourself to people, or maybe defend maybe defend your career and what it is that you want out of life. But whatever it is, whatever this career is, this career path, your dharma, it's going to bring you security. It's going to bring you stability. That's what the Four of Pentacles is all about. You're seeking security, stability, saving your money. You're being called to save your money, invest wisely, so you can have a very bright future, because I do see that you are going to have a very, very bright future. And don't get too worried about the Seven of Wands here, because it's just showing whatever life throws at you, you have the ability to handle it. And even though it might feel overwhelming at times, it might feel like it's too much that you're having to fight off, but you're willing to put yourself out there. You're willing to go down this specific path because it's what you want. You feel like this is your dharma. This is your life's purpose. And you are on the right path. Yeah, I just have a feeling that you're always having to defend your position. Maybe defend what it is that you want out of life. You know, maybe that's why you have, you use such humor. Maybe people think that you're not very serious because you do have such a sense of humor. You're always telling jokes. And if you're not, you're just somebody who has a great sense of humor. You see the funny in everything. You see the humor in everything. And you try not to take life too seriously. And therefore, there might be people who think that you don't take your life too seriously, especially if you're somebody who is in your 20s. Of course, you're just now starting out in life. And I think that's why you're being called to spend some time alone, to kind of step back and reflect on your journey so far. Where is it that you're going? Where do you want to go? Because once you do that, your path is going to be illuminated. It's going to be a lot more clearer. You're going to see your path a lot clearer, your path moving forward. You see this? Yeah, you definitely have a bright future ahead of you. The Three of Wands is also about moving forward in the right direction. But this is only going to happen once you take a step back, Or maybe spend some alone time. Do something like meditation, yoga. Step away from people. Get away from all the chaos and the chatter and all the distractions that you're trying to fight off here. Step away from all of that. And I feel like once you do that, it'll be easier for you to reflect. Once you're in that state of stillness and you can think clearly, I think the answers are going to come to you. But you're definitely on the right path. You're being called to use your intuition. So go within, quiet your mind, go someplace quiet in your house. And once you quiet your mind, once you're in a place of stillness, the answers will come to you. But this is definitely going to be bringing you financial success. You're going to be abundant. You're going to be happy and joyful. Okay? But I see you might even be somebody who is frugal, or you're really good at saving money. That's what the Four of Pentacles also indicates. It also indicates a person who, I see this with the Hermit. So some of you might be someone who is a loner. You like to be by yourself. You do things alone sometimes. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm like that. Sometimes I don't like to be around people. I've always been a little bit of a loner, so I completely understand. Sometimes you have to be a loner to really focus on yourself. Go inward. Because that's when all these downloads and things come to you a lot more clear, when you don't have a lot of people around you giving you their opinion and their unsolicited advice. So step back, get away from people for a little while, and focus on your future. Focus on building the foundation for a brighter future. Okay? All right, let me get another deck and see if we have any more messages for you. Here's one that's coming through. You have the Queen of Cups. So beautiful. So I have a feeling that even though you might be somebody who has a wicked sense of humor, a dark sense of humor, a joker, there's also a side of you that is very kind and caring and nurturing and compassionate. And if you feel like that doesn't really describe you, then you are being called to nurture yourself during this time. It's about self-care, having compassion for yourself, and don't be so hard on yourself during this time, okay? Because I know, like, when you get out of college, you're in your 20s or in your early 30s, and you're just getting yourself out there and you're trying to figure out your path in life and what your career is going to be and what your life purpose is. Sometimes we can be a little hard on ourselves. So I feel like maybe you've been a little hard on yourself. It's time to just nurture yourself. Take care of yourself. It's about self-care. Have a little compassion. Don't overwork yourself. Love and care about yourself first. But like I said, I also feel like part of your personality is it's very sweet and kind, caring. And also, the Queen of Cups is saying, hey, watch your emotions during this time. Get your emotions in check, because the cups represent our emotions and our feelings. So you're actually feeling quite strong about your future. It's bright, sweetheart. You are definitely on the right path. You're moving forward. You have a great plan, because the Three of Wands is about already establishing a plan and implementing that plan and taking action and seeing all the wonderful possibilities that are over the horizon. It's seeing the bigger picture. And that's what you see. You see the bigger picture. And you can see that you are on the right track to a very stable and secure future. You are going to be financially abundant. You're going to have financial security. So there is no need to worry. Don't worry about all the struggles and the hardships, because that will pass. It's very rare that a person has an easy path. There's always going to be bumps in the road. There's always going to be struggles. There's going to be hardships. There's going to be challenges, because that's what makes us stronger. That's what gives us wisdom. You see here, the hermit represents wisdom and being wise. When we face a lot of challenges in our life, when we make mistakes and we learn from them, that's where we evolve and we become very wise. And I feel like that's the path that you're on. Yeah, you have a lot of wisdom within you. I have a feeling that you're a smart person. I think you have a good head on your shoulders. Just remember to remain emotionally stable during this time, okay? And all will be great. I see so many wonderful things for you. Lots of joy and happiness in the not so distant future. All right, my loves, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and if you found it useful and insightful, I would greatly appreciate it if you would like this video and subscribe to my channel. It would really mean so much to me. I am sending you all so much love, many blessings, and I'll see you in my next video.